What's up, y'all? Welcome to our YouTube channel, Africans Talk Football. Appreciate your guys' continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.
Welcome back to another episode here of Africans Talk Football, where we bring you soccer news highlighting the Africans and African Americans in the sport. We'll bring you news from our teams in the Premier League, as well as informing you on other top European leagues and soccer news worldwide. Whether this is your first episode with us today or you've been rocking with us from the jump, again, I just want to say thank you to all of our friends, all of our supporters. Once again, my name is Cornelius, and I'm joined today by a very, very special guest. I'm going to pass it over to Salam so he can introduce him here today.
We got a big person with us today, man. Big person, big man.
Young boy.
Yeah, Niger boy, man. Now, like Cornelius said, incredible talent who's already accomplished a lot in his young career. He was named the 2024 Big Ten Midfielder of the Year, earned all Big Ten first team honors, and is a finalist for the prestigious MAC Hermann Trophy, and also played a pivotal role in Ohio State's Big Ten championship and as well as the tournament. And most recently was selected 13th overall in the MLS draft by Montreal. Michael Adedokun, welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, I imagine, you're very busy during this holiday season. You've had a lot going on, whether it be, your postseason with college and then, the MLS draft as well, too. So how are you feeling this Christmas Eve?
Great, I'm grateful, for what God has done in my life, first and foremost. So because, being here today is a big privilege. A lot of people don't have that opportunity, but for me, what I've done so far for myself, being alive today is something huge. So I'm just grateful for everything.
Very good, man. Before I pass it to Cornelius, just really wanted to start with you growing up in Nigeria. You're from Euwra, Nigeria. So I'm just interested, like, how did you start playing, and like, what role did soccer play in your life as a child?
Yeah, like I said, I'm just blessed, right from when I was born. I don't know, so because like soccer is something that everybody want to play. So I was born in like a very small community named Euwra in Nigeria. So it's a very small. That's my hometown. It's a very small place, where everybody just play on the street. So back at home, then like our parents don't see it as a job, so they just see like us having fun, and nobody want their kid to play soccer, obviously. So, not just only me, it's every kid in my community. Everybody wants you like to go to school where you can have your degree and get a job. So actually, my parents actually want me to be a doctor or maybe journalist where they can be watching me on TV. So that's what they want me to be. But for me, soccer is just something like, it brings happiness to me. It brings joy. During those times, whenever I sneak out to go and play, because my parents never allowed me to go and play. So whenever I sneak out to go and play, I come back, my mom's going to whoop me every time. Never stop me from playing, So because my brothers, I have 5 brothers and 2 sisters. So my brothers played, but they are not like as talented as me. So they quit along the line, which is like, they also have to sneak out to go and play. But for me, growing up, I have like a very humble beginning where my parents like struggled to put food on the table for us. They sacrifice a lot for us just to survive. My mom, she do a lot of different works. So like, I have to help her hawk some fruits. So every time when I came back from school, when I was in the elementary school, so when I came back from school, she's gonna give me banana, orange to go and hawk for her. But during those times, whenever I'm going to hawk, I'll leave the house and go to the field. I'll just leave everything.
Man.
And there and be playing soccer. So by the time I finish playing soccer, every other person is gonna like to steal everything from me. They will steal all my fruits, all my bananas, Going back home, my mom is gonna be, what happened? Like, I don't know. She's gonna whoop me. Because that's the only thing I have to play soccer. But the sacrifices of me playing soccer during those time, and then so it's nothing like, I don't see it as like suffering or maybe like punishment. I see it as training. because I enjoy playing soccer. I never see at night my mom is gonna whoop me because my mom is such a I won't say my mom is harsh, but she is very, very, I don't know. She have like
Did you say strict?
Yeah, she's very strict.
Oh.
I won't say she's very strict in terms of like she doesn't want you to do this, she doesn't want it. Nobody can talk to her. So in my academy, like before I joined my academy, I remember one of my coach came to the house like, "Yeah, we want Michael to join the academy," and my mom chasing me away. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that because like I don't blame my mom because like hardly will you see someone who make it far from soccer from my community. The longest person that make it far as I then was like what's his name? Egbuna Arinsin. So and he was playing in Nigerian Premier League. And Nigerian Premier League is not a lot of money. So like me want to play soccer. I have the talent, like my mom never said that. She just want that privilege of like, hey, my kid is a graduate, like my kid is on TV, but not like soccer wise. He want me to be like a TV presenter or maybe like a journalist. So that's actually what she want. But me, it got to some point, when I was in secondary school, which is like high school, American College High School. So when I was in high school, I get the chance to join academy. So I was playing with my coach. We went to national. So in that national, she was watching me on national television for the first time. And she was like, wow, we actually made it to final.
Wow.
And that year she was like, so when I came back, everybody was telling me, your mom, we were with your mom. Because during the time I was playing in my community, they would go home and tell my mom like, hey, your kid is really good. They would give my mom the report. But she wasn't convinced with anything. She still insists that, hey, you're not going to play soccer. But for me, after she saw me on the national television, everybody told me before I even see my mom, like, hey, your mom watched your game and you did great and this and that, like, And that year, I remember, like, I was one of the best players in my team because I was super young. It's my first year in high school and I made the team. So then, like, after that year, I came home, my mom was crying. Like, I didn't know, like, I've been denying so much opportunity, So, which is like, now you have all my support and stuff. So that's when she started supporting me. She started supporting me on the backup before I got the scholarship to go to the International College and Sport Academy, where I actually graduated. So then before I graduated, I was playing with like some local division teams, where just for me to gain experience, I play with like the likes of Ijebu United. I was with them for a little bit. So I played with Osun United. I play with Abre Sport. Those are like, semi-pro teams in Nigeria. So I play with them where I have a lot of like, just for me to get that experience and, prepare myself. And then my senior year in high school, Dayton came into the picture where they saw me playing, and they were interested in me. Actually, my academy, they never allow majority of their players to go to America to go and do like study and play. They want you to obviously go to Europe where you can have a life of playing soccer. And that's what I want for myself. But when Dayton came into the picture, it's a different story because like obviously my parents want education.
Right.
And I'm grateful because I can call myself a graduate today because like, that's what my parents want. And as well as when I came to college, my perspective about academics has changed a lot because I have the chance to combine both education and soccer together, So with that, I think like this is a really, really like program for me just to be able to like do what my parents want, what I want for myself as well. I'm a better version of myself when I came to America.
That's a great, place to start. Hearing you talk about your mom a lot, and then you said you have 5 brothers and 2 sisters, so big family. Obviously, you're very family oriented, and your mom values education. But growing up, besides your mom, who were some of the key, figures in your life that kind of shaped your journey? Whether it was a coach, a sibling, who kind of helped you along the path, and can you share any lessons that you still have today?
Yeah, actually, like a lot of people helped me, but from my academy coach, my first coach, who after the national game that I played in my high school, So my academy coach, I have to live with him because I left home at young age. I didn't live with my parents anymore because of soccer. I was living with my coach. My coach helped me a lot. He's a kind of guy like, he's gonna wake you up 5 a.m. just to go and train. So that's who he is, because he appreciates your talent, but he believe like, hey, working more can help you. And he know me as a kid, like I'm so determined to make it from soccer because that's the only thing, like, I feel like can take my family out of poverty. So that's the way I would say it, because the way life is, not a lot of people are blessed with that. A lot of people are struggling in the world, like, hey, what are we going to do? And that's one thing about my community, not only in community, even Nigeria economy now. So everybody is finding a way to make it. But for me, growing up as a young at a young age, and I have that kind of talent. So the best way is to find someone who's gonna help me polish it, just for the people to see it really. So then I moved with my coach. He helped me a lot. Then later on along the line, I lost my mom. So I lost my, thank you. So then I have to move to the city. So I moved to the city with my dad, just to be with my dad for a little bit. So my first week that I moved to the city, I went to go and train on the field by myself. And then later on, because it's very like, nobody know me there. So I just lead and everything. I have my passing ball. I was training on the field, and then I saw guys playing pickup, and I play pickup with them. And the guys that are playing pickup, they're like, hey, come and join our team. I was like, join your team. No, like, I just came here. So it's my first team. So how do you expect me to join your team? Like, and talk to our coach, this and that. And there's some academy in Nigeria. If you want to join them, you have to pay money.
Okay.
I don't have no money to pay. I don't have no money to pay because I believe, like, I just want to come and stay with my dad for a little bit before I go back to school. So, but then they told me, like, yeah, come and join our academy, come and join our team and stuff. I was like, oh, okay. Then the next day, because after every day, because I always go to the farm with my dad to go and work in the farm just to raise my school money, But after 3 p.m., we come back from farm, and then 4 o'clock in the evening, I'll go to field to go and train for 2 hours. Then like 6 o'clock, I'll play pickup because they will start playing their pickup like around 5:30. So I'll join them and play after my 2 hours training. Yeah, that's all I do, just for me to stay in shape and keep playing. So then during the pickup game, the second day, their coach came to the field and he saw me. He saw me play pickup. It's like, oh. Then he talked to me himself. Like, yeah, this is our vision. This is what we are trying to build and this and that. Like, when he saw me, I was like, hey, my academy is a big academy, okay? So, which is like, I don't think like they will like that. But my coach back at home, how much I want soccer, how much I want to be a professional. So he always talked to me on the phone like, hey, you have to be training regularly. So whenever we have a game, we can have you travel just to come and play games if you still stay in shape the way you are and stuff. So then the next day, the coach talked to me there. Then I was like, okay, I'll come to your practice. Then that time they have like a tournament, and then my first game with that team. So it's academy and a team. So they have like a and they have academy version of it.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I trained with their feeders team the first day. Then the next day, their senior team have like a team. They have like a game on Sunday. So I actually joined them on Monday. I came there on Monday. So on Wednesday, I joined their practice. So I watched them in practice. I didn't practice with them. So I just went there and look at what they were doing. Then their coach is like, to come to game practice on Friday. I was like, hey, man, I can practice with you guys in the morning because I have to go to the farm to work with my dad in the farm. So that's the best way I can get my money, because that's the reason why I'm in this team. Yeah. And the coach is like, just come over whenever. On Saturday evening, you can come and train with us. And in the evening, I train with them in the evening. The next day, their senior team have a game. Luckily, in that game, I scored a hat-trick, my first game. And the coach was in love with me, But one thing that bring me and the coach together, because he's one of my heroes. So that is one of the guys that helped my journey the most, to be honest. So then after that game, it's like, oh, you are really good on this and that.
You can play.
Yeah, you play really well. I don't know, like, you are this talented, because like I'm a fast player with like, good footwork, So then he's like, oh, okay, join our team technically. Then I decided like back in Africa, back in my hometown. Then it's like, yeah, you join them, and then if you're going to stay there for long. So and ever since then I joined the team. Then the coach liked me. So living with my dad as a kid, like you go to the farm every single day, you have to work in the farm every single day. So my dad doesn't have no choice, because I'm a kid. Like I'll do anything, legit stuff, just for me to make it. So like the sacrifices, the work that I put in. Then the coach saw my work rate and everything, in terms of like the way I carry myself every day before everybody comes to the practice. I'm already in the practice training. Then it likes me. I was like, oh, do you want to come and live with me? Then I begin to live with him. So if when my school is in break, I'll go to the city. I won't live with my dad. I will not go and live with him. I will leave I was living with him while I would go to the farm to go and help my dad in the farm and come back, because he can be helping me with whatever I need. Yeah, those are the people that I would say like they helped me the most.
Okay. Wow. I'm really sorry to hear that your mom passed, unfortunately. That's really sad to hear. But I mean, your determination, your commitment to it obviously paid off. So I'm curious, how did coming to the United States come about?
So my senior year in high school, I was with Ijebu United, which is like semi-pro, is like third division league in Nigeria. It's not like professional league, but it's very, very competitive for like academy player just to play. So because like a lot of pro players that are retired, like that doesn't have jobs, they play in that league. Then I joined it, I was playing there. So, but whenever we are in the break, I'll go back to my academy just to go and train with them. Then I think like Dayton, one of the Dayton assistant coach, now is like co-head coach. So he came to Nigeria for a recruitment program. And then the AUS Access, there's a platform called AUS Access. They brought the coach to Nigeria, the two different coaches from the US. So both of them are from college. And then they came for recruitment program. And after they finished with the trial, so they wanted to play against my academy, which is, I was fortunate that time to be in my academy. I was training in my academy back from the semi-pro team. And then they were like, oh, the finalist of the trialist, those are the finalists of the trial. They will play against my academy. I was like, yeah. I was captain for 5 years in my academy. They were like, oh, you're going to play with us before you go back and stuff, because we have a game coming up. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Then in my academy, we play against them. That team, they couldn't even have the ball.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah. So in that game, because when we play in my academy, we keep the ball for 90 minutes. We don't care about who we're playing against. So yeah, we just keep the ball 90 minutes. Then the trialists that they were like, oh, you know what? The coach already got eyes on this guy, eyes on this guy. If he can perform against this academy, that means they're good. Yeah. Then when the coach saw me, he's like, nah, I want this guy. Then I remember our coach told him that year, like, nah, this kid is going to Europe. He's not going to go to America. Because even when I was in grade 11, they tried for me to come to college in America. They tried that because they have like 3 other guys from my academy who do that. They are in grade 10, they came to America. Like David Egbo, David Egbo actually went to Akron. He graduated from Vancouver. So
that's crazy. Just not to interrupt you, but David is my boy. I used to play at Cleveland State. We played at Akron a couple of times. That's my guy, David, man. I trained with him, play against him a lot. So that's my guy.
He's a really good guy. He's a really good guy.
Left foot is dangerous. Man.
He can shoot really well.
Yeah.
So David is from my academy. Ashara is from my academy. Ashara, he got drafted by Toronto, and I think he's with LAFC second team now. I don't know. He played for Houston, so I don't know much about him now. So we have like a couple guys like that, but not like a lot. My academy. So, but when they play against us, it's like, oh, I want that guy. They're like, nah, he's going to Europe. He's not going to be here, and that because they are processing everything for me, like to go to Europe that year too. So because it's the final year, then dating like COVID happened, nothing can go on anymore. Yeah. So just died down. Then the Dayton coaches like keep talking to me because they got my personal contact as well. They keep talking to me like, yeah, if you decided to come here, we'd love to have you here. When they go back, their head coach, in the morning when I wake up, their head coach is gonna talk to me. Like, hey, we want you. That's how much we want you, this and that. Like, then I was convinced because I say like, this is time for me to make the sacrifice for what my mom wants, where I can have combine both education and soccer together without jeopardizing one for one. So, I just feel like, okay, it's time for me to take it. Then I came to Dayton. I played at Dayton for 2 years. I played my first year as a defensive mid. So, which is like, wasn't like, I didn't score no goal. Then the second year, I was best player in the team.
Wow.
Yeah. Even before I got injured, all my teammates that went to pro this year, they were still talking about it. I remember I was talking to them 3 days ago after my draft. And it's like, if you didn't get injured that year, bro, you will get Generation Adidas. Because the way you're going crazy is something like, yeah, he was talking about it that year because that year I was fantastic. I played 5 games. My first 5 games, I had 5 assists, 2 goals. So yeah, it was like that would have been my best season in college because nobody could handle me. No, absolutely not. Yeah, because I have the freedom to do whatever I want in Dayton team. Because
talk your shit, bro. Talk your shit.
No,
Nobody can handle you, man. People still can't handle you, bro.
So like Dayton because they go back like I feel like they realize like this guy is not 6. I can play 6. I play 6, but they believe like I can give more in terms of as an offensive player.
I personally think you're an 8. I was gonna ask, what do you think your best role is? But I think you're an 8 when I watch you play.
Yeah,
he's a
box to box.
Back in my academy, I play as a box to box. I play as a 10. Yeah, I play as a 10.
Yeah, I can see the 10. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just depends on but the 2 roles that I play in my academy is like box to box. If you are playing like against really, really like high level teams, I'll play box to box because of like we want to keep and they want me on the ball. So, but if we are playing against a team that is like, we just need more goals, I play as attacking mid. So they want me to get closer to the ball as much as they can. So because it's easy for me to break line and break defense with dribblings and then passes. So it just depends on like the way my coach wants. And that's one thing like I will say about myself. I'm a guy who always want to play with whatever coach wants. I don't mind playing as a winger. I don't mind playing as a left winger. I don't mind playing as a right winger. I State I play as a striker. So that just depends on what my coach wants. I'm always open for everything. So which is not every player can do that. But for me, I just feel like I don't have like a permanent role until I get to the next level. So because in college, coaches like just want to put you where they think like they can be successful.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. And then me playing on the wing this year is something like surprise everybody. Like, you play like defensive mid your freshman year, at Dayton you play as 10. Now you're playing as a winger. You put me there, I do my job. I do my job. Not only do my job, I will do it to the best of my ability. So so and then everything went well. After that second year at Dayton, I got injured. Then after I got injured, I came back 3 games to the end of the season. Then a quarterfinal game, I scored the only goal. And then in the semifinal, we played 1-1. So in our conference semifinal, we played 1-1 against St. Louis. I have assist in that game. And then we lost in Spain in that game as well. Then after the game, I went to the coach and I talked to them like, hey, I'm sorry, I need to move on with life. Like, what?
Yeah.
So you got injured. You have to understand that they are unbelievable guys, very great people. But for me, I just feel like I want more for myself. I want an environment where I can develop more in terms of like competition. I want a team where I can be competing every single day, which is like better conference, like bigger. So that's why I decided like, oh, you know what? I'm going to the portal. They don't want me to, at some point, like they were very, very mad about the decision.
Of course, they don't want to lose you.
So at the end of the day, I got to do what I got to do that I think is best for myself, because I know like how my journey works. I might be too relaxed to keep walking because just because of the season that I had before I got injured, I'll be like, of course, I have my spot in the team. I have my feet on the ground, so nobody's gonna put me on the bench. But that's not the kind of player that I want to be. I want to be a player that every single day I keep developing, I keep getting better. So that's why I want like a bigger conference, a bigger school where I can have a lot of players who can challenge me like, hey, if you don't do what you have to do, you're going to sit on the bench. Then going into the portal, I have a lot of options. Then I end up in Ohio State. My first year at Ohio State.
I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Even before we just get to Ohio State, because we're talking about playing, you saying, you know, don't want to stay complacent, you want to keep developing and growing. Kind of walk me through what do you think, outside of, you know, obviously putting in the work, but what are the differences between, you know, just playing in Nigeria and that, you know, in that environment, and then coming to the US and it being a lot easier for you? Because we've talked to a lot of guys. You know, we've talked to CJ Sapong, we've talked to Kingsford. That's my guy as well. We're good friends with him, and you know, they told us, you know, kind of their story of when they come over, it's a little bit easier for them. What do you think kind of prepared you to make that transition a lot easier for you in your play?
Are you talking about Kingsford Ajago?
Yeah, that's my guy, man. That's my guy, bro. Yeah, so
we play together at Dayton. So one thing that I think is different between me and Kingsford Ajago transition to American system is that Ajago is a right to dream academy boy, which you know they get a chance to travel a lot. He's playing like different environment. He was in England for a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
you understand like how abroad system works. Me coming into new environment, I do not understand anything. So the difference between me and them is like, they have experience playing against like, you know, teams in abroad, which is like my first time leaving my country. So I came to Dayton. And then the transition, I came in January, which is like in the winter. It was freezing. I couldn't even like do anything. You know, it was freezing bad. Like I don't know. You know, when I was in Nigeria, they always be like, yeah, it's cold, it's freezing. Like in America, it is. For me, I don't buy that. I was like, it's always cold in Nigeria as well. But when it's cold in Nigeria, it's gonna be like 65 to 70.
Yeah.
So like,
it never seen snow.
Yeah, it's just windy. It's just gonna be windy. It's not cold. Then I came down here, I was like, nah, I'll play 20 minutes and I'll be coughing. That's how bad it was for me. So, you know, I don't know like what to do. I was struggling that my first year. You know, for me to adapt to American system, it was a little bit harder. I'm very technical. You know, I can dribble the ball well. When I have the ball in my feet, I can keep the possession. But dribbling forward, people just drag me. And I was skinny. I was super skinny. You know, I was like, you know, my coach then like, they think they lift a lot. Then my coach is going to tell me like, hey, this is your routine. Like, you know, and then whenever we're done with like team lifting, I will still stay there just to lift a little bit more, just to get bigger and be ready for the league. Because like America is very, very physical. Back at home, we really believe in like technical abilities. So this kid, everybody can play, you know. It's not like, it's hard, like defending is hard in Africa, but like it's not like, you know, as American, like physicality is not like American. America is like, you can have like 11 people on the field who can run 90 minutes. They just run. You know, they're not like that technical in college, but like they can run 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So, which is like, it's very difficult for a player that is technical, because by the time you dribble one, the guy that you dribble is not going to give up. He's already behind.
He's already
in the field just to go and defend again. I was like, what? I have to dribble like 3 times before I get to the goal. That's not what I want. I struggled a lot. But you know, with time, I prepared myself for the second year, and then second year I was killing it until like, you know, I have like a MCL spin. By the time I came back, I was still in like good shape, which is like all those moments, like I think like it prepared me for my final season as well. Because my second season, before I came to Ohio State, that year I remember like I played with Fort Wayne FC, where like I try as much as I can just to adapt to American system, the style of play. And in Fort Wayne, I did really great with them. I did great with them. I think I played 9 games with them, and I scored 3 goals, 4 assists in 9 games.
In the USL.
Yeah, in the USL. So then I was playing as a midfielder, so box to box. So, yeah, so which is like, you know, I think like the coach really liked me a lot because I was one of their best players in their team. So even there, that built into my second year at Dayton. So where I performed really well for Dayton before I got injured. So that's one of the things I was like, okay, you know what? It's time for me to move on. Not like because I don't like Dayton. I love Dayton. You know, I respect coach, I respect the environment. I just want something more for myself.
Yeah, so it's really dope to hear that perspective. Just how Dayton, just actually just coming from Nigeria first, and then how that prepared you to make that jump to the States, go to the Dayton, have that experience, and the physicality is where I feel like you really grew in Dayton. Also, I feel like just you playing in a lot of different roles, playing the 8, playing the 6, playing here, playing there, that also added a lot to your game as well. So then kind of walk us through going to Ohio State. How has that now prepared you for all of the accolades that came with this year, doing extremely well, obviously, and then kind of transitioning your game to now the professional level? How has that Ohio State kind of prepared you for this leap?
I mean, coming to Ohio State, when I was in the portal, I played against Ohio State in 2021, and we beat them 1-0. So, which I have assist in that game against them. Ohio State wasn't one of my top team that I was looking for.
Listen, I get it, man. I remember I used to play against Ohio State. I beat Ohio State a couple times on that pitch. I didn't. I get it. So I feel you.
So when Ohio State head coach reached out to me, I just read his message. I never respond. I was like, Then when I did on my list, the big team that I want, that I have already reached out to me, I already have like Ohio State is like 10th on my list.
Wow.
10th. Yeah, I put them 10th. Like, I'll go to this school before Ohio State. I was talking to everyone, but Ohio State coach, after he sent me test, he called my phone. He called my phone. That's how he was really determined to get me. He was very, very determined. And he called my phone. I was like, hey, who is this? It's like, hey, this is Coach Brian, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, he talked to me like, yeah, this and that. I'm like, oh, coach, how you doing? This and that. Like, yeah. And I don't know anything about their coach. I did not know anything about their coach.
Legend. That was going to be my question. Legend.
Yeah, I didn't know he was a legend. So
Columbus legend, yeah.
He never mentioned it to me when he called me on the phone. He was like, yeah, Mikey, because he's a super, super nice guy. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever played for. Nicest guy I've ever played for. Not just because he's a good soccer player. He's a really, really nice human being. I committed to Ohio State because of his personality. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Yeah. So then when he talked to me on the phone, I was like, okay, coach. Because me, when he was talking to me, I like to be respectful when I was talking to people. Even though when I'm not interested, I know deep down in me, I'm not interested in Ohio State. I just like, okay, coach. And right now, I'm going to training. I wasn't going to training. I was like, I'll give you a call later on. Then I dropped my phone, and I was talking to my boy that is next to me, like, oh, Ohio State, like, yeah, coach just called me again now. Then my coach that I play for Wayne FC, their coach is a super nice guy as well. So that he really liked me a lot. We have a good relationship. So I think like a lot of teams, they call that coach and they will that coach like, hey, how good is Michael? Because obviously if you call Dayton might say negative stuff about him because they don't want him to.
They don't want you to leave, right?
But majority of them are smart. They will just call that coach like, hey, what do you think of Michael? Because Michael only spent 3 months with you. You're supposed to know him. He played a lot of things for you. You have like a great season with you guys. So what do you think of him? And that one always give like a good recommendation. So which is like a lot of coaches like, oh, okay. Then when I talk to him, like that coach called me like, hey, Coach Brian just called me about you from Ohio State. I was like, yeah, he called me, but I'm not interested. They're like, no, don't say that. Do you know who that is? I'm like, who is he? I don't care. So it's like, hey, that's Ohio State. Like, what's it called? He played in MLS. He retired in 2005. Then he gave me all his profile. I was like, shit, what am I doing? I was like, oh my God. I don't know, like I was talking to a legend. Yeah, I was talking to a legend, but he was super nice on the phone. Never give me anything about himself. He was just talking about the program, about Ohio State program. I'm like, okay. Then immediately, like I was still in my room. It's not even up to 30 minutes that I said I'm going to practice. Coach called me again. Ohio State coach. He called me again. I didn't pick up when he called me. Then he gave me a voice note like, hey, hey, Mikey, it's Coach Brian again. Just give me a call whenever we can. I would like to have more chat with you and this. And like, hey, bro, it's not even up to an hour. You've called me like,
I'm still going to training, bro.
I don't know what is going on. Then after that, later, like around 5:30, then I give him a call. Like, hey, coach, I saw your call. I was in practice, this and that. Like, yo, I don't know, like you play for Columbus Crew. Like, hey, Mike, that matter? It's like, hey, that matter? Like, it does matter. It's like, yeah, I was with national team, U20 or U17. He told me that time, U20, U17 or something. Yeah, I was this. I was in Louisville. I was all of. He actually won MAC Hermann. Then that's when he gave me. That's when he gave me all his profile, and I was like, okay, you know what? Because of that, I'll visit Ohio State.
Wow.
I came to visit, because that year I was talking to Vermont, I was talking to Poland, I was talking to like a lot of big schools. Yeah, I was talking to like a lot of big programs. I was like, okay, you can come and visit. Then I went there and I visit. After I visit, I talked to him. This coach is I like him.
Done deal.
Unbelievable guy. And his staff as well, they are just same as he is. As a guy, everybody's like unbelievable. They were like, this is how much we want to have you here. Then he showed me like the way they play and stuff. I'm like, okay, no problem. I will make my decision in 1 month. So immediately I got home. Before I got home, he already called me 2 times because I drove for 1 hour.
Yeah.
It's just 1 hour away. I drove my car there. He's like, "Are you home?" I'm like, "Why is this man so caring like this?" I'm not. So by the time I got home, I just called him like, "Yeah, I'm home now. Thank you, coach. I appreciate the hospitality." And then later on, like this next day, he give me a call, like, "Yeah, just let us know." Then he put the contract on the ground, like, "Hey, whenever you are ready to sign, no rush. If you think like Ohio State is a home for you, you can come here. Love to have you." This and that. I'm like, okay. Then later on, all the coaches that I was talking to, I wasn't like interested anymore because of like his profile and his personality. Because I believe like someone is gonna help me to be better. Because he's gonna tell me like what I'm doing wrong and what I need to do to be in the next level.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I'm like, okay. Then I talked to my coach that I play for in the USL. Then it's like, then he gave me a lot about him as a person. Not like he's not faking it. That's who he is. He's a nice guy. Like, okay, I'm supposed to make my decision in like a week. After the third day, I was like, hey, coach, I'm coming to Ohio State. All my boys is like, are you crazy? You have a program. Why are you going to Ohio State? I'm like, don't worry about it. Because I know that, even though if our season don't go well, it's gonna get me a tryout, and I believe so much in my ability. Like if I go on a tryout, I'll sign a contract. So that's one thing I know. And then like, okay. Then when I came to Ohio State, our first season wasn't great. So before I joined them, I was with Flint City. That's where like make it like we are undefeated. Like until the last game of the season, we lost that game because we already qualified. So we already qualified. So we just do like then we went to the national semifinal where we lost 1-0. So majority of my game, my coach in Ohio State was watching it. Then that's where like more people get to know me because I play for Flint City. Then after that, I came to Ohio State hoping to have like a great season like I had. Then I would say that was like my worst season in college.
Okay.
We lost 6 games, tied 6 games, and won only 6 games in 18 games.
Wow.
So we struggle a lot. I tried as much as I can, like, but it's a new program for me. A lot of people don't know the way I play because it's not like you play a lot with people in preseason. You play with them like you play only 3 preseason games, which is like within maybe 10 days, and you start the season. That's the way it is. So it's very, very short. Then like I started playing with them. That season we struggled a lot, and also we have like a lot of injured players as well. We struggled with a lot of injuries. Then after that year, I talked to coach like, hey, I got a lot of calls about you going into the draft and stuff, but if you willing to stay for your last year, we would love to have you here because you're a wonderful kid, not just like a good soccer player, you're also a wonderful kid, and I believe like you can keep developing and prepare yourself for the next year. Then immediately talked to me about that. I decided to stay because of what I've seen. Even though we have like not the best season, I still believe there's so much like they can come from Ohio State, in terms of my development and also in terms of like my adaptability to the system. I know if I adapt to the system, I'm gonna be like a great player. So then the coach that he believes so much in me, not because we don't have like a good season that he pictured. With that being said, he believe in me, Then I decided like, to stay one more year. And this season, obviously, like, we are able to post
Big Ten champions, man.
Big Ten. So Michael, I wanted two questions about Ohio State before we get into your MLS draft process. So obviously we know just from being in Ohio, we know who Coach Maissonauve, Brian Maissonauve. He's U.S. men's national league team player, Columbus Crew legend. So obviously, like, we kind of know him as a player. How would you describe him as a coach?
Oh my God, coach is not a coach; he's a father figure for everyone. That's what he is. And I think that's what is play a long role in our success this year. Coach is a guy since the first day that I arrived here. He's a guy that is gonna call you 10 p.m. at night. I don't know which coach is gonna call his player 10 p.m. at night to find out if he's doing well. Hey, how's everything going with you, Mike? He called me 10 p.m. at night. The next morning, 9:30, when I'm going to class, he's gonna shoot me a test. Like, is everything okay? Just checking on you, this and that, from the first day that I wake up, that I arrive in Ohio State. It's just a guy like, he always wants to know if everything is right with you as an international player. Not only international players, even the players that are from Ohio, players that are like from the US, he cares so much about them because majority of our players in the locker room will be like, hey, coach just treats everybody like a kid. Man, we are not a kid, this and that. Like, that's who he is. He's so nice. Like, our coach is unbelievable. And majority of the time this year, I will be dealing with knocks, like injuries. Like, I can't play. I can't do this. Like, this year, I need a rest. My body needs a rest. But because I love coach and I don't want him to lose, I'll play that game. I will play that games. There's so many games like that this year. Just because of, like, how he cares about his players. The kind of person that he is. Because sometimes soccer is not about, like, walking. Sometimes it's all about the relationship that you guys have. And that's why, like, our players, we are like a brothers. If you come to our team, you are like a families. So, and I think that played a lot in our success this year. Because the way we carried ourselves, if someone make a mistake, another person is there to cover up for him. If someone doesn't play, the person that is on the bench is rooting for the one that is playing. So that's one thing that is very, very unique. Because, like, either way you're going to get your time, you will play. And the same person that you're doing the same thing for, you're rooting for, is going to be rooting for you when you're on the field. So sometimes, like, I'll be playing, everybody will be like, outside of our team will be like, hey, Mike, not everybody you have to pass. You have to shoot. Score more goals. I'm like, I don't really care about, like, if I see a better player in a better position who can finish it, why? I have the ability to dribble and create chances, I can do that and, like, let someone else score. That is why, like, I have 11 assists, 11 goals this season. People believe like I can score like about 20 goals, like 5 hours. I'm doing it by myself. But that is why it's called team. I can only do what I can do to help the team as much. So, and then, like, the guys, they help me to get better as a player, and I have to help them to get better as a player as well. And that's one thing that is very, very unique about coach, getting the best out of everyone.
So last question about Ohio State, man. You guys have had an amazing season. I mean, from where you guys were last year to come back this year and to have the season that you guys have had. You won the Big Ten. You were number 1 in the country. For me personally, this was one of the first years in a while that I really tapped back into college soccer. I started to watch from start to finish. And just from being in Ohio, it was really
crazy. It was really
honestly. It was cool to see you guys. I'm from Columbus, so, like, it's cool to see, like, like, wow, the Buckeyes are number 1 in the nation in soccer. Usually the football team speaks for itself, right?
Right,
Everybody knows Ohio State football. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But for Ohio State soccer to be number one, like it was really cool to see. So I would love to kind of just hear what all went into this season for you as an individual, for the team. I mean, you guys are hands down one of the best teams in the nation. So kind of what all went into the season for you?
I think everybody in the team, we wanted more. That's the thing that is really, really like matters. Because last year after we lost like a lot of games, coming into this season, the coaches, the way they recruit me, they try to bring another piece that we need, like a striker, they bring Ajagbe in, they bring Scoob, he's a midfielder who can support as well, he's a freshman, they bring Nick, Henry, other guys like that they think that we need in the team. So, not a lot of them are playing like regularly. Ajagbe was playing every games because he helped the team a lot as well. Majority of every kid that came into the program, they helped the team to get better because our team is very, very competitive. If you don't take care of your business on the field, there's no assurance that you're going to start the next game. So that's why, we in the spring, we train really well. We play different pattern. We play different formation just to make sure, going into the fall season, we want to be sure of what we really want to do. Sometimes coach is gonna play me as a striker. I will tell him hey, coach, I'm not a striker. It's yeah, Mike, I know, but I think you can get us 20 goals in a season. Hey, you gotta be thinking of next level. I'm a 5'7", 5'8" guy. How am I going to play as a striker? I talked to him about that. How am I going to play as a striker? Hey, Mike, you can jump really high, and I know that. You're gonna play 9. You've played 9 for me, and I love it. I was okay, if that's what you want. I love it as well. As far as I'm on the field, I'm doing what you want. Yeah, I'm cool with that as well. Later on, he put me as a center mid. It's our attack is not as dangerous when you come to the midfield. We can keep the ball, but our attack is not as dangerous. Okay, then he put me as a winger. When he put me as a winger, okay, you can come to the midfield and help the attack as well.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this.
Yeah, this is a perfect spot for Mike. So whenever we are building, Mike is going to be part of it. Whenever we are in total, Mike can delete guys. He can create chances. So that's what he did. And I was okay, good. So building, the team went to England. I didn't get to go because they couldn't get my visa. So they went to England for preseason tour in the summer. And I didn't get to go. By the time they got back, during those times before they back, I was training with a couple teams. So then I came back here, training. I was playing, training, getting ready for myself. I didn't play USL2 this year because I was also doing my internship to be able to graduate. I actually graduated a week ago. So
congrats. I know your mom would be happy, man. So congrats,
thank you.
Yeah.
So then I prepared myself for the fall season, doing a lot of finishing as a winger. I wasn't. That's my first time playing as a winger. I was okay, you know what? It's that time. I have to train myself. I watch a lot of videos of players that I like. How do they defend? So because that's what really matters. How to dribble, that one is gonna come. It's my ability. I have the ability to dribble, but how they defend is something that I need to watch. So I watch their defense. Whenever the team is defending, I watch their positioning because that's really, really important. Then I do all those homeworks on my own. So because that's where coach want to play me. So then coming into the season, in the in the preseason, all our preseason game, we won all of them, which I know not just because we won all of them, the way we keep the ball, I know Ohio State is gonna do something great this season because we don't give the ball away anyhow. And whenever we give the ball away, we win it so quick. Everybody's determined to win it. Then our first game of the season was against Cleveland. We tied 1-1. The possession is like 70-30. We have one, but we couldn't get the goal. So mad. I was so mad after that game. I was on the field for at least 4 to 5 minutes. I didn't talk to anyone. I was just sleeping there God, no, this isn't a game. No, this isn't a game. everybody went to the locker room. Our captain was talking. Immediately he done talking, I talked. Like, hey guys, this is not what we want. Okay, I can't deal with this anymore. Okay, we have to want it more. We have to find a way to put the ball at the back of the net. Not just you guys, even including me. Tell me what I need to do better. If you have like idea of what I need to do better, what I did wrong in today's game. There's nothing like freshmen. The freshmen have the solutions to our team. You can come forward and tell us. Okay, you're just coming to the program. You have new ideas. Bring new ideas. That's what is going to make us a better team. Everybody keep like talking. You know, we talked before the coach came into the locker room and gave like a speech. But, you know, after that game, we'll have Akron the next game. And I thought, me personally, if we lose a game, I couldn't sleep. That's who I am. I won't sleep until like 5 a.m. the next morning.
Been there.
That always hurt me so bad to the level. Coach always tell me like, yeah, you got to be trying to sleep. Because I'll be like, hey, I should have done better here. I should have done this. Even though when I watch the video, I was like, maybe I do this like 2 days. You know, I keep complaining about what I did wrong to myself. That's who I am. So then after that game, we have Akron. Everybody prepare themselves for Akron. Like, hey, that's a really good team. You know, we prepare ourselves and then we beat Akron 2-0. After we beat Akron, I think we were ranked 23rd or something in the nation. They were like, oh, okay, guys, we are not leaving top 25. And that's after that game, every game is a win for us. And we did it until we play against UCLA. We are number 2 in the country when we play against UCLA. Then, so Pete was number 1. Then Pete lost. Then we are happy. Like, okay, it's time for us to be number 1. It's time for us to be number 1. But in that game, I remember every of our players, because we played in California, every of our players, they were a little scared. Like, oh my God. It's usually just join Big Ten, right?
Yeah.
Scared, like, you know, they were nervous. Like, we are playing against UCLA. They have all the fans. They have everything. But me, anybody that know me in the team, if you talk to anybody in our team, I don't scared of anything.
Coming play.
5 minutes to the game, I have my earphones on. I'm still dancing. I'm dancing.
Real African.
The game is gonna take care of itself. I take the information from the coach. I don't put pressure on myself. I go to the field and I do the job.
Facts.
I do my job. I do what I have to do to help the team. So then everybody, like, they were feeding off that energy. Like, I remember one of my teammates, I'm not going to tell his name. He came to me like, Mike, how do you do that? We have a big game coming up. If we win, we are going to number 1. If we lose, we are not going to be number 1. I'm like, hey, I don't put that pressure on me, okay? The game is going to take care of itself if we win. And that game, we are leading 1-0. Second half, first half, we play 0-0. Second half, we score, Ashton score, and 1-0, and I have the chance to make the team go 2-0. I dribbled the center back with step over, and I shot the ball. Then he hit the post and it came out. So that game will have been 2-0. 5 minutes later, they score, and immediately they score. It's not even up to 1 minute. They score another one, 2-1. And
that's how football works.
Yeah.
That's the game, bro. It's so unforgiving.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's so unforgiving.
We find the goal throughout the 90 minutes because they scored the second goal like 60-something minutes. And we find the goal 90 minutes. We keep them in their half, played 90 minutes. I remember, like, I have like maybe 4 shots. The goalie denied me so many times. I didn't get the goal. And that's like within that short period, I didn't get the goal. They defend me really well. I play as a striker in that game. I play as a winger. I play as a 10. Everywhere.
You tried everything.
Yeah. If we tie, we are going to go to number 1 because number 1 already lost.
Yeah.
We already lose. So, like, yeah, then we are ready. And I was like, okay, you know what? It is what it is. After that game, our coach was like, he came to me. I remember coach came to me. He's like, hey, you're an unbelievable kid. I was like, coach, we didn't get the win. It doesn't matter because we're supposed to go to number 1. I'm like, I know. You guys did what you have to do because it's not easy. That's one thing about our coach. He doesn't blame us because we lose the game. Because that's our first lose of the season. Then he came to us like, hey, we just have to build on the next one because you guys give all your best. It's very, very difficult with the time difference, you know, flying from, Ohio to California to come and play down here. The weather is different, this and that. I'm like, then we are playing Wisconsin. Our coach has been in Ohio State for 7 years. He hasn't beat Wisconsin once.
Mm.
We are playing against Wisconsin. Then he told me, like, in the plane when we are coming back, like, our next game we just have to find a way to win it because we can't lose. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Mike. We haven't won against this team for the past 7 years that I've been in Ohio State. I was like, I don't buy that, coach. That's what I told him. I said, I don't buy that, coach. No.
Yeah.
So the game is gonna take care of itself. I don't believe that Wisconsin have like a great team that we can beat this year. Then we went there. The first half they scored 1-0. Then coach changed me to the wing because I was playing as a second striker in that game. Then he changed me to the wing. So then we went there. They scored us first. I scored back 1-1. Then I assist the second goal, which is 2-1, and then I assist the third goal. We beat them 3 in that game. Then we came back to Ohio. So we keep building on it until like we lost to Marshall in the national semifinal. So it was a great season, I would say.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, fantastic season. Definitely one of a season that we definitely, especially Ohio natives, we definitely won't forget. You guys were firing on all cylinders. One thing that I really want to touch on before I pass it to Cornelius and we get into your draft process is your teammate Nathan Demian experienced a tragic incident where he was struck by a stray bullet. He just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. So kind of talk about one, first, how is he doing, and then two, just how did that affect the team, and how did like the coach, the staff kind of bring everybody together in that time?
Yeah, he's feeling much better now.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good to hear.
Because when that happened, I was in my room, I was sleeping. Then one of our guys just called me and then went to the hospital to see him. I couldn't see him that day, but before we left for games, we get to see him, and then he sent us some messages as well before we play against Marshall. So he's doing great. But that week, going into the Marshall game, everybody was down. We were devastated when we heard about the news, But I think like the coaches and the university, they handled the whole thing really well, just for us to keep our head really high going into the normal college cup. So they did their best by making sure like everybody was fine, in terms of like, because it's very tough for a team to keep their focus. It's very tough. But at the end, we go there, we did what we can do, we give him all our support. We have like shirt and everything for him, and obviously we want to get the win for him, but it didn't happen. But I'm pretty sure when he watched the game, he was also happy about that. Like, he was happy that we did what we did for him, supporting him. That day it wasn't just our day.
Yeah. No, I mean, he definitely. I'm sure he was proud. I'm happy to hear. We're all happy to hear that he's doing well, and hopefully he is able to make a full recovery. But CP, I'll let you take over, man.
Yeah, just wanted to get into the draft a little bit. I mean, we've been talking about it here for the last couple of, and you talked about how you just graduated, last week. So congrats again. You just got drafted. You just got drafted to the MLS. So busy week. It's Christmas Eve, so there's a lot going on. But just wanna take us through that week. What was it like? Leading up until the draft, and then when you finally find out you're getting drafted to Montreal, what was going through your head? How did you prepare for it? How was it, hearing other players' names being called and then yours finally at 13? Kind of just take us through that whole experience.
Oh, I mean, I'm very excited about it, going to Montreal. So Montreal is like a great team. I've heard so much about them, and then with what I heard so far, their coach is an unbelievable guy. Just like my coach, maybe they might be similar, but with what I've heard so far about from guys, from friends that I play with, they told me like, because the coach was with Columbus Crew before, with what I heard. So going in there, I just have to keep my head and learn. So that's the thing, because it's a new phase of life. So I have to learn as much as I can to adapt to the league and give my best every game. So that's the thing. But about the draft, I just let everything take care of itself. So after the season, I wasn't putting any pressure on myself or something, because I I feel like I did what I have to do during the season. So I tried my best to put my team in a great spot and to put myself in a great spot. So even everybody was surprised, like, yeah, Mike is not like top 10 in the draft, but it doesn't really matter.
Right.
I'm number one draft for my team. That's what really matters. Yeah. So the team that want me, so they know what they want. And me going in there, I want to work and show like, hey, I really love the badge and I want to make use of the opportunity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you've heard a lot about Montreal, and we haven't really talked about your game a little bit. You talked about how you like to take players on 1v1. You talked about how you're very versatile. You can play anywhere in an attacking role. You can play on the wing. You can play in the middle. What excites you most about going to the MLS, and what parts of your game are you ready to, add to the team so they can benefit from you? And what do you think you can bring to the team as well?
I don't know. I'm just a guy who's ready to work. Like I said, MLS is a different league. A lot of experienced players, a lot of mature players, very athletic. So going into the system, I just want to work with my coach. So tell me what I need to do. Tell me what I need to do to help the team. So because I try as much as I can to have like different aspects of my game. In terms of 1v1, taking players on. So that's not only my attributes. I have too many, I have potential to develop to any position you want me to be. So if you want me as a 6, a guy who's gonna run 90 minutes, yeah, I'm ready for you. So it's whatever, just use me like the way you want me. So if you think Mike is not like a great 1v1, it's not gonna be useful for us in MLS, I will appreciate that and I'll be happy with that. As far as I work with my coach, because obviously they might see me as 1v1 player in college, and if I go to MLS, the reason why they draft me might not be because of my 1v1 ability or because of my chances or goal scoring ability or because of my assist ability. They might see something different in me. So it's up to my coach to figure out, to tell me what he sees in me before he draft me and give me the opportunity. Either way, I just want to make use of the opportunity and then develop in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that answer, man. Just seemed like a guy who just wants to go in and work, improve himself, and prove to his teammates that he's for the badge and works for the badge. I want to just touch on that. Just as we said, you play so many positions. I'm sure if you put you at wing back, you could do it as well. What do you personally? What do you believe is your best position?
I'm a box-to-box player, and sometimes I can play as a 10. Just depend on the team. But these days, soccer doesn't play 10 no more. So only MLS, you can see 10 that much, But if you see Euro, a lot of people don't play 10 no more. So in Europe, so everybody's you have to walk, which is but for me, I feel like the connection between the midfield and attack is my best position. So so because I'm a guy who can take people on, in terms of getting the ball from defense and trusting it to attack. So that's what I can do really well. So be able to break the lines in the final third and then create chances. Those are the things that I'm really good at. But you might be watching me and be like, hey, Mike, that's not what I like about you. I like your speed. I like your speed. It depends on what people likes about me. I won't say but for me, that's what I think is my best, best position. Playing probably as 10 or maybe as box to box.
Yeah, no, I see it too, because even, just watching, like I said, I've watched you at Ohio State during the season, highlights as well and all of those things. And you can tell, that when you're on the wing, man, you love to drift to the middle. I could tell your coach is like, no, drift to the middle, come inside, get the ball and then kind of, start the attack for us a little bit. And it would go out to you and you constantly drifting in the middle. So I'm like, this guy needs to be in the middle, man. He loves, you could just tell, in your play exactly what you're saying. So it's really cool to just, kind of hear you expand on that. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, some wingers, they like to play on the line. They like to play on the line, just to stay there for 1v1 and make the field bigger. So when Ohio State have the ball, So when we are building out, my coach want me in the pocket so that our left back can go really high.
Yeah.
So it was like once the ball is in my feet, we are good.
Yeah.
Because that way, the first person that's gonna come back is gonna dribble him. So and then that dribbling is gonna open up a lot of space. So majority of the team, if you watch our game against Wake Forest let me get the ball in our half.
Yeah.
So and they sit back, which is like something I don't know. That is dangerous for them.
Yeah.
It's dangerous for them because that's what my coach wants. So there are some teams that they will keep me, they won't let me get the ball. They will block all the middle line. They want me to get the ball on the line. So if you let me get the ball on the line, it's a problem for you as well because I'm gonna dribble your right back.
Yeah.
So you don't want that as well. So it's up to you like to find a way, But the way Ohio State plays, they want me either I have to find a space for myself, create that space for myself, and let our left back. Sometimes our left back is gonna go way high as the winger, and I'll talk in as a left back. So I'm gonna get the ball on my feet just to build out. So that way. So which is like, my players they trusted me so much, like Mike is not gonna give the ball away. He's not gonna give the ball away that is gonna lead to goal or something like that. So that's why, like, it depends on like I said, like it depends on like what my coach really wants. So hopefully, I have like high expectation, just to work in MLS and then to adapt to the league and then hopefully like be successful there.
Yeah.
No, most definitely, man. You have a lot of aspects to your game that I feel like could translate well into a lot of different positions. So I think that flexibility, and then really too, I mean, just hearing from you talk today, just your mentality, your determination, like you seemed like a very focused individual, and obviously, I mean, on the
Thank you.
field and outside of in the classroom as well too. I mean, academically, you're up here. You know what I'm saying? Like Gabriel said to Gabriel's point, I'm sure your mom would be very proud of watching you, of obviously of what you're doing on the field, but to see you in that cap and gown as well too. So it's yeah, I mean, we're all looking forward to seeing you play. Definitely when you come to Ohio, bro, we're gonna hit you up, bro. So
thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you.
But let's get into some rapid fire questions, man, before you get out of here. I'll start with this one. You talked about music earlier, so what are you listening to on game days?
Afrobeat.
Yeah, I knew it.
What
artists? What artists though?
What artists?
I listen to raps, but sometimes like a majority of the time I listen to Afrobeat, like Burna Boy, Rema, Whiskey,
Rema,
Davido, Shatawale. I listen to a lot of people, so it just depends on the vibes I'm feeling at the moment. If I feel like I want to dance, because majority of the time I dance to Shatawale, Black Sherif. Sometimes I don't know what they were saying because they speak. They speak a little bit of Twi, but because of the beat, I dance to that. But Davido, Burna Boy, I just listen to them to reason, just to like, okay, you know what? Sometimes I'm not
getting that vibe.
Exactly.
Okay. Who are your top 3 favorite players of all time?
I only have one. I don't have top 3.
Okay. Eden
Hazard. Good, man.
Yeah, man. I see that. You are a Chelsea man. Let's just get into it. You're a Chelsea fan too, so like it makes sense.
It's not because I'm a Chelsea fan. I mean, my national team, I used to like JJ Okocha growing up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I joined Chelsea because of Drogba. And I'm national team captain John Obi make up play for Chelsea. So I didn't join Chelsea because of Hazard. But looking at what he does for Chelsea as a player, the joy that he brings to the game. He's a guy like, a lot of people said he doesn't work hard, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. He's talented. But when you watch him play, Hazard is unbelievable. It's just like the joy that he brings to the game that I love, not what he does on the field alone. He does do it casually, like, I'm just having fun. Yeah. It's a job, but he's just having fun. And that's what really matters in the game. So that's I like by him a lot,
you don't see that often. Go ahead, Cornelius.
Salam, that was going to be one of my points. I see, and it just from what we were talking about earlier, bro, you have a lot of joy in your game. And you don't really see that, with the way that players are built, especially in America, because a lot of these players are system players. They're built to fill a role, but you like to have that freedom. You like to take players on. You like to do step overs, and I see a lot of Hazard in your game, honestly. So the fact that you said that makes sense. It makes sense.
Before we leave Chelsea, though, like, what are your thoughts on the team now? The Chelsea team now. Do you think Chelsea's in a title race? Let me ask you, bro.
We are not on the title race. We are not on the title race.
Hey, my man, move, man. Hey.
Come on,
we are developing. We're just like a young team trying to develop ourselves and prepare for like next 3 years. You know, that's what we.
This guy's good. This guy is good. He's a media train.
He's media. Okay.
So why is everybody trying to put us in a title race when we
that's
don't
why
because you're in a title race.
You're up there, bro.
Now.
You're up there.
In a
You're
title
the closest
race.
team.
We just want 3 points. We just want our 3 points. We don't want title.
We're just trying to get through the cold.
Pressure. No,
we're trying to get through the winter. You know.
That's fair. That's fair. Before I get to my next question, next to your Hazard jersey is actually Forster Ajago too.
Yeah.
We support him. We've been following him for a while too, man. Just briefly kind of touch on your guys' relationship and just kind of how, you guys have helped each other so far.
We talk every single day. He's my boy. He's my brother. So we play together at Dayton.
Yeah.
So, and then my first year at Dayton. So even when I was injured, Forster is just like unbelievable guy. He's a really nice guy. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Me personally, like, I don't make friends that much because I don't go out.
Yeah.
I don't party. If you ask any player in Ohio State, they will tell you Mike is not a guy who's gonna go out. You won't see me there. No.
Yeah.
I prefer to sleep in my bed after practice. And I wake up, I go to practice again. That's all I do. Yeah. If I don't study, I watch movie. I play video game. That's all I do. I'm not a guy who's gonna be like, I'm going to bar to go and drink, or I don't drink alcohol. I don't do nothing. Okay. I don't drink. No. So, but Forster is very, very similar to me as well. So he doesn't drink alcohol. He doesn't do anything. He's just gonna be in the room. So, but my second year at Dayton, we live together. So before he transferred to Duke, when he transferred to Duke, I transferred to Ohio State. So it's just like, him, he want the same thing that I want, like in terms of like want to get better as a player, put himself out there, and he's doing well for himself now, playing in MLS. Right now it's great. He's building himself. He's coming up. So it's just like, I would say, like, our relationship is just like more of like a brother, because Forster is like, I can tell anything, everything. Yeah. So, I would love to play with him someday again, because of the connection that we have. So I would love to play with him in the same team again, but hopefully we'll see what happens.
No, most definitely. What are some hobbies or passions you've pursued outside of the sport of soccer?
Outside of soccer, outside of sport.
Yeah.
Sports in general. So, I mean, I don't do a lot of sports because I play ping pong, like, So that's, I have fun doing that. I play pool growing up and all those stuff. So that's all I do. But outside of soccer, what I love to do is like probably playing video game. I don't have anything to do.
FIFA. What do you play? FIFA?
I play FIFA every time.
We gotta play sometime, man. We gotta play.
You gotta play. You got PlayStation. Are you PlayStation guy? Xbox guy?
I play Xbox.
Okay.
But we can still play. We can still play online.
We can still play.
Okay.
I always like to ask this question because you grew up in Nigeria. So your favorite Nigerian food and then your favorite American food.
Oh, that's tough. I eat a lot of Nigerian food and I make a lot of Nigerian food myself.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't have favorite food in America, to be honest. I just eat. As far as it's healthy.
You eat to survive. I feel you, bro.
So but there's some certain food that I don't eat. So like I don't like mac and cheese. I don't like that. So I don't like pizza. Well, there's some certain food that I don't like, but
Okay.
Aside from that, I eat a lot of food, so American food, but Nigerian, just give me. I love jollof rice, man.
Jollof.
The jollof, yeah, man. Who has the best jollof, bro?
Of course, it's Nigeria. All day, every day.
Wow. I think you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think he might be the first person I think to say Nigeria. Because we've had Ghana on here.
Are you kidding?
We've had Senegal. I've never had Nigerian jollof.
My man, I had Nigerian.
I have, and I'll take Liberian over it.
Ghana like to put themselves in a competition with Nigeria, but they never want to admit the fact that Nigeria is their father, is their
Kingsford.
in everything.
Kingsford told us.
In population, in everything, in music, in everything, in soccer, everything. Nigeria is their father, so they just like to compete. Just because, we are a neighboring country. No, you just have to admit the fact that Nigeria is not our mate. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man.
He waited for Mike to leave it before he
he waited for Mike.
We should have started with that, though. We should have started with
that. Before you go, Salam, what's outside of of course going to Montreal and playing football and meeting the team, meeting the guys, meeting the staff, and being embraced by the community, what's one thing you're excited about going to Canada, just in general? It's another country for you. It's another completely different environment. So kind of tell me maybe something, if you know of anything, kind of what you're excited for when you go over there.
Learning French.
Yeah, I'm about to say you gotta know French.
Yeah,
I want to learn French. So because in Montreal, everything, even when they welcome me, they wrote everything in French.
Yeah, they wrote everything in French.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh damn.
I'm excited about that. I want to learn some French. So I know some words.
Bonjour.
Comment ça va? Bonjour. Comment ça va? Ça va bien.
Ça va bien. Ça va bien.
So, all those things are something I really look forward to. I want to learn the language so quick, because me, I'm a guy that I always challenge myself, and I love to learn as much language as possible. I'm interested in learning French. I'm interested in learning Spanish. I'm interested in learning Italian, any language. Language is I think is going to be beneficial for me, No language is a waste, because in Nigeria we speak about 500 languages and I can only speak little of them. So, I want to speak some languages that I think is going to be helpful in the future.
That's very
cool,
I
think it's going to be a great experience for you, bro. I mean, just hearing, talking from you, for you to obviously get this experience here in the United States and now good to go to Canada, and to play professionally though as well too. You're experiencing a lot of new things at a lot of time, and we're very excited for you, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You definitely deserve it, man. So last two, man.
Okay.
Last two questions. We ask everybody. So let's create a 5-a-side of your favorite teammates. You have to enter this tournament. You have 5 players that you need to put in, and you're the coach of this team. Who are you going to put in? Someone's going to have to get left out. Someone's going to get left out.
That's really, really tough. Oh, my God.
I'll give you, you know what? I'll give you, how many subs should we give him?
None. No subs.
5 is fine. Pick your 5 and come play.
My guys, as these boys, I'm sorry. Every one of you is important, But if I do this, just know it's not based on anything. They want me to do that.
You can blame us. Yeah, you can
blame us.
I'm sorry.
Number 1 is gonna be Max Trail. So in goal. Number I'll play 2 defender, which is gonna be Siggy Magnusson and Samuels. I'm sorry, but I have to go. Nate, I'm sorry, but I have to go with Day, our captain, left back.
Okay.
So I'll play 2 defender, Siggy and Day. So that's 3. I'm sorry, Luch. I'm sorry, TG. This is tough for me. I'm sorry, Marco. Every other guys up front, I'm sorry, but I'll play me and Ajagbe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
I like it.
You're the player coach. You're the player.
I need to do it myself.
I just feel the reason why I choose myself, I would put Luch, but the reason why I put myself and Ajagbe is because I can drop to the midfield to get the ball from the defender and then connect with Ajagbe, and I know Ajagbe is gonna finish. I would have chosen Marco as well
Yeah.
because he's a great finisher, and he's got
Okay.
more experience as well. So, but Marco, I'm sorry, I just have to go with yeah.
Shout out to the guys, man. Shout out to the guys, definitely. So, last question, man. I mean, you're a relatively young man yourself, but what would you give young players that are aspiring to be, playing at the level that you are? What advice would you give them?
I mean, one of the biggest thing about me, everything that make me wake up every single day to keep going is my community where I grew up, and talking to them. Like 2 years ago, I used to have like a seminar with them every Friday where I talk to them in terms of like, how they can get to where I am currently, is them driving themselves first. You have to like pick yourself up first and be like, yeah, I want this, the desire, the passion, the determination. So I have one thing growing up that I call 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline. Those 3 Ds help me a lot. I have it in my calendar every single day. The determination is the fact that with the obstacles, I still determined that I want to be successful. So soccer is a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes it's not going to go the way you want it. But the determination of like, if I don't want it, people are going to choose someone else. I have to want it and I have to love myself because I love the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if it doesn't go the way I want, I still keep grinding because everything in life is all about time and season. When my time is right, everybody will be like, hey, he come from nowhere, but nobody come from nowhere.
Yeah.
He's been grinding. People don't see him. That's just the thing. But when your time is here, when your time comes, everybody is going to be like, wow, that kid is unbelievable. It's just a process. You have to be determined like, hey, I have to be successful. Dedication, you dedicate yourself to the game. What I call the dedication is the time of like your training aspect. The way you train. If everybody is doing 20 push-up, I do 30 push-up because I have to be like a little bit better. That's one thing about me. Our boys in the locker room, when we're lifting, I'll be like, hey, I don't lift, I don't do this. Yesterday, one of our boys was talking to me when he saw my pictures at the gym. When I was doing gym, I was at the gym and he saw my pictures. He's like, hey, Mike, I thought you don't live during the season and stuff. I was like, bro, I don't live during the season. Don't worry about me. Like, oh, you don't like to give us your secret. That's our goalie. Like, yeah, you don't like to give us your secret. I was like, bro, you got to understand, not everybody in your team. I just have to prepare myself. So we're just having fun. It's just like a little bit of everything. When I go to the training, when I came to Ohio State, everybody after training, I'm doing extra shooting. Coaches will be like, hey, Mike, you need to rest your body. I'm like, hey, man, don't worry. Mike is built different. Yeah. So that's what I always tell him as an excuse, like, and then, I do my recovery and also get ready for the next day. So all those little things, I dedicate myself for it. Like, even though I'm not seeing the result, but I still keep grinding. And the third one is discipline. Discipline on what you eat. My mom can give me like maybe 5 fufu. I don't need 5 fufu. So as much as I'm hungry, I can eat all the 5 fufu. It's not useful. I can only eat little that I think is going to be beneficial for my body. So I only take like something that is helpful for my body, taking care of my body in terms of that. And then, I respect my body, in terms of like what I put in it just to get ready. Because if your brain is telling you to do something and your body is not there, you're not going to be perfect on it. You have to train your mind, train your body, and train your everything. So you have to be ready in every way. So those 3 Ds help me to prepare myself to where I am. And I will tell them if they can make use of that 3 Ds, it's going to help them to go a long way in life. So me personally, I was trying to give back to my community where they can have as much opportunity as I did right now, that I have right now. So because I was hoping at some point in my life, in my career, I'm going to partner with some people where we can give back to my community in terms of like, maybe build a school where they can be combining both education and soccer as well. Where like, a lot of college coaches can come to Africa and recruit from there. Where, it doesn't have to be, I want to do it like non-profit organization where guys can like make use of that opportunity to get the best out of themselves, be a better version of themselves. So those are the things that I want to do for them back at home. And me personally, growing up, I've seen a lot. My parents growing up, their prayer, they only pray for daily bread, just to be able to put food on the table for their kid to eat. And me personally, my goal in life is to be able to make them a bakery where they can make their own bread to eat. So, all those things are something like, help me to get up every single day and keep working on. They have to find the reasons. Why am I doing it? So as a kid growing up, why am I doing it? You're not doing it. I'm not playing soccer because I want money. Obviously, money is gonna come with it. But I'm doing it because I love it, because I find joy in it. And whatever happens, whether I have a fight with someone, I don't get into fight, whether I have like grudges with someone, or maybe like someone doesn't like you, it doesn't really matter to me. I try to be cool with everyone. But not everybody in the world is gonna like you. That's one thing about life. But you have to understand, like, soccer brings happiness to me. But I'll keep doing whatever it takes for me to be happy in this game. By working hard, by keeping the right people around me who can help me get better, and being true to myself. So, because if you're not being true to yourself, you're not going to go far. I don't blame my teammates. I don't blame my teammates like, they don't do this, they don't do that. No. I look at myself in the mirror first and be like, hey, Mike, you can do better. Because I know what I carry. What I carry is very, very huge. And by the time like a lot of people is going to begin to recognize it, they will know the value of it. But for me, I have to know, like, I have to know that first, like, what I carry is huge. Before I can convince other people to like it.
No, that's great advice, man. And that's definitely I mean, you're a young man, but like you're very like it's really refreshing to see someone in your position that has, a pretty clear vision on what they want, and it really is inspiring to see. We didn't really get a chance to talk much about it, but you are a finalist of the MAC Hermann Award. It goes, towards the best college player in the nation. We on this call, we know who our pick would be for the award. But just lastly, like, what does it mean to you to be nominated for such an honor?
It's huge. It's really huge, because at the beginning of the season, I don't see myself as like MAC Hermann finalist. To be honest, I just, like I said, I'm not playing for accolade. I'm playing for Ohio State for the badge, for the privilege that I get to represent Buckeye. Because at the beginning of the season, if you talk to any of my roommates, because I didn't live with any players, I live outside campus. If you talk to any of my teammates, any of my roommates, they will tell you I train morning and evening. I practice twice a day in the summer. And they will be telling me like, Mike, you need to rest, this and that. But me, I know the reason why I'm training hard. I just feel like I have one mindset from the last season. Like, I was like, if our season don't go the way we want, and it was like very similar to last season, after I give my 90 minutes, I play my 90 minutes, I give all my best. I'm tired, I'll just sleep on the field there, and I'll cry for a little bit, and I'll pick myself up, ready for the next game. That's my mindset. I'll cry for a little bit there, and I'll pick myself up. Immediately I leave the field, and I'm ready for the next game. Every game matters to me. I want to give my best in every game. That's my mindset going into the season. So being the MAC Hermann finalist, I didn't see that coming. But, my teammates, they helped me to be a better version of myself as a player, better human being, because on the field, it's not just all about Michael alone. Maybe like I contribute a lot to the team, but every single player in the team contributes a lot as much as I did, because you can't give what you don't have. That's one thing. And I'm pretty sure everybody in the team, they give their 100%. That's why Ohio State have a great season, and that's why I'm a MAC Hermann finalist. And winning that award, if I get to win it, we will see what happens. So, I hope my boys a lot. So, it's not just Michael's award. Even making it to the finalist, I dedicate that to the boys, not just to myself, because they did a lot of work to help me get there.
Shout out to the guys, man. Shout out to the whole team, man.
Yeah, man. I was just gonna say, just before we close out, just to piggyback off what Salam said, man, it's very, very refreshing to see, players like you come up and, as Africans, we understand what it's like to have to fight just to get to that level, and then we understand the whole education from our parents. Yeah. So the fact that you were able to do, like Salam said, get your education and then also compete at such a high level, and just you want more for yourself. You want to be better. You want to train 2 hours in the summer after the farm just so you can get an opportunity to maybe play at a higher level. And I'm sure, the people over in Montreal are just going to welcome you with open arms, because they know they got a very hard worker, they got a workhorse, they got a team player, and they got someone that's going to elevate their team. Just like you said, you had 11 goals and 11 assists. That's something that means you're looking to pass, you're looking to score, you're looking to help your teammates. And I just can't wait to see what you do in the MLS, bro. We're rooting for you.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just to kind of piggyback, man. Just we're very, very excited for you. Very, very excited to see, what happens with the MAC Hermann, but, just you as an individual, man. I think, just your character as a person, a very, very well-rounded individual, and definitely be a role model for, not only teammates, but the ones behind you and the ones in front of you still, people that are older, people that are younger. It doesn't, wisdom has no age, you know what I mean? You can be a wise 10-year-old. Doesn't matter. If you're wise, you're wise. You know what I mean? And definitely a very, very wise person. Definitely, like you said, the 3Ds will help you. Definitely very determined and very disciplined. And yeah, man, I see you having a very, very long future, very, very long career in this game. And
thank you,
like I said, we'll definitely be following you all throughout the years to come. So thank you again, bro.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bro. Definitely. Like I said, lastly, just to conclude everything, thank you for your time, bro. I know you're busy. You have a lot going on. This is Christmas Eve. So you're very gracious of your time. We are, so appreciative of that. And like the guy said, man, we're rooting for you. Whenever you pull up to Ohio, whether it be Columbus and Cincinnati, we'll come and support you.
Yes,
and
sir.
Yeah, man. Whenever you get some free time, man, let's play some FIFA, man.
FIFA, yeah, for sure.
No problem, bro. I look forward to that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Who's your team? Who do you play with on FIFA? Who do you play with?
I play with my roommates a lot, though. Yeah, it's really good.
What team do you pick?
What team do you pick?
I don't have a specific team. It depends on the guys that I'm playing. So it depends on how good he is. Yeah. So there are some guys that I just use, like, maybe, I'm sorry, Arsenal is not good. So
tell him.
Arsenal is not good in FIFA. So
I take back what I said.
I'm a Chelsea fan, so I love Arsenal as a club. But in FIFA, no, I don't like them in the FIFA. So okay. I use Real Madrid. Sometimes I use Bayern Munich. So it just depends on like the player that I'm playing. Yeah,
we'll play, man. We'll play. Well, yeah, thank you, Michael. We really appreciate your time, bro. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, thank you. Have a good one. Happy holidays, brother.
Bye-bye. You too.